Hello, in this little video I'm going to show you how to use the quizzes feature on the Finalsite portal pages for classes. The quizzes feature can be accessed using the tab here on the button on the menu bar at the top of your class portal page. Don't think of it, however, as just quizzes. I would include surveys, way to get feedback from students, check in on their progress along the way towards a project. It does not have to be just evaluative. It can also be for practice, because kids can, if you set up quizzes which will auto-correct, students can use it to check for understanding, practice before a test, any number of things you can think of using the idea of being able to query students, get their answers or feedback, and then either collect it yourself or give them responses and feedback and based on their answers. So, quickie guide here. If we click on the button for quizzes, it enters into the manage area. You can see right now there are no current quizzes open in this portal page. I do have a couple that I created ahead of time so I could show you. If I click on the upcoming quizzes tab, it will show you that there is one that has been scheduled called test. That's when it's going to start on the 28th of August at 8 a.m. and end at 11 p.m. In other words, that's the window during which students could enter results for the quiz and submit them. I can edit right from here by clicking on if I click on this pencil here, it'll open up the editor. I'm not going to do that just yet, but you could easily navigate right to the edit quiz from there. If you have past quizzes and you want to check, because once they sort of expire, they move out of the current quizzes or upcoming quizzes, obviously, into previous quizzes. And in this case, I don't have any that were already submitted. So if I now go over to the Manage Quizzes button here, the Manage Quizzes, it opens up a window that will allow me to do some, obviously, the management of them. Here's a list of the quizzes that I have in there. There's 3 of them. The test, which was the one you saw before because it was scheduled. It was edited. These are one of the times when I edited it, and then this is the class to which it is being administered. These other 2 quizzes are ones that I created ahead of time that have not been published yet. So they are, you can start working on things and then wait and finish them and then publish them when you're ready. You can set the date for when they're going to be published, but if you know what your upcoming schedule is. You can also, from the pull down here, look at deleted quizzes. You can look at, if I go to my micro class, it can show you the quizzes for that class, anything that you have administrative level of access to. So I'm just going to stay in the new faculty training. Again, this is the quiz that has been scheduled, or actually let me go back to the all quizzes so we can see them all here. Let's take a look at one before we show you how to create one. Here's the one that I have already created. I'm going to click on it so you can see what it would look like in this mode. Here is the quiz here in the middle with some functional elements. And there's some date over here on the side is when things were created and when the date, if it's been scheduled. You'll be able to put it on the calendar and it'll create an event on the portal. So this is one that has a header. If I come over here for a second, you can see the layout elements that you can be able to add. There's a header. There's also a text block here that I just dragged this over. I'll show you how when we create it. And edited the text block by clicking on the pencil. I can click on that. We'll open up a window here and I can edit away and then save it. I put a horizontal rule here just to break it up a little, and then a bunch of questions that I entered. Showing you a couple of the different types. What you'll notice here is that there are some areas that are highlighted in green. That's highlighting the correct answer, so that as you enter in quizzes and provide the correct answer, you have a nice visual here to know what you've said as the correct answer. There are some multiple choice types. If we look at the types of questions, you can have a short answer, which is up to 255 characters, I believe. Multiple choice, where there's only one single correct answer, not just 2 options. Multiple choice, where it's a checkbox. There could be more than one correct answer. You see that down here in this example, which of the following are dormitories on campus, and there are 3 that are correct. Or you can set up a long answer, which is obviously designed to be able to take more than 255 characters. So I've just set this quiz up, created these questions. You can grab them, move them around. You can say I grab this question, I can move it around and switch the order of things. just by moving it down. I can rearrange things however you want. We'll show you that in the editing again in a little more detail. I want to see what it'll look like for the students when I click on the preview quiz. This gives you an idea of what the students would see on their end when they click on the quiz, and they'll be able to answer the questions and then click the submit and it'll go to you. So that's what a quiz looks like when that's been made. That's the sort of typical quiz you might use after reading or homework. Go back to the dashboard. I just want to quickly show you, I'm not going to save those changes. Excuse me. Okay, if I look at, for example, a pre-course inventory, I could create a inventory where I could ask kids before an assignment or before something, a unit, what kind of background information they have. Again, it just has a header, a little text here, and then what are your strengths as a student, what are your weaknesses, and then they could submit that and send me some information that I could use as I start a unit or as I start a course. So that's an example, another example of how you might use the quiz function. One other way, a nice one, is an exit ticket at the end of class. In the last couple moments of class or for homework before the next class, you could have the student fill out an exit ticket, which is a great way to get some feedback from the students right away and plan for the next lesson. Or it could just be, if they get used to doing this every couple classes or whatever, what was the main takeaway in today's class, what is the most confusing aspect, so you can find out what students are still struggling with before you come into the next class. Then, what are you wondering about after today's class? What are some things that the students are thinking about after they've sort of learned some new information and started to process it and synthesize it with some of their previous knowledge? Get you an idea what the kids are thinking about. And those are just a couple ways you can use the quizzes in the quizzes function and the portal. So what I want to do is